So we're starting to see what happens when you have too many irons in the fire. So currently, the administration's position with the Russian Ukraine war is we're just going to walk away. And he called both the Russians and the Ukrainians a bunch of fools for not wanting to end this war. Let's put aside him saying he would end it in day one. And then he claimed he would end it before he became president. Now he's trying to end it. So he has that going. And he's realizing the Russians have no interest in peace, and it looks like they're starting to go into a summer offensive. So that's one iron. The next iron, he's trying to crack down on illegal immigration. Now, I'm not against enforcing our border laws, but the way he's doing it is due process isn't necessary, and we're just going to try to get these people out as quickly as possible. That's why he invoked the Alien Enemies Act. And now he has all these lawsuits going on when it comes to immigration. But the Great Orange Man doesn't stop at that. He decided to throw tariffs on the world. Now, people knew he would use tariffs, but they never thought it would be this widespread, and he would then trigger global trade wars. Now, the administration is claiming that they've had a bunch of people reach out to them. Let's say that's true. Trade deals take a very long time. One of the best things Donald Trump did during his first term was negotiate USMCA, which was the trade deal between Mexico and Canada and the United States. But now he's trying to pressure them to either sign a better trade deal, or he actually wants Canada to just give up and be the 51st state, which is not going to happen. So that's another iron in the fire. And inadvertently, we're worried about China trying to take Taiwan. There were reports saying this was going to happen in 2007, most likely. Well, if you escalate a trade war with the United States and China, but the United States is China's #1 trading partner, so now we're having this rapid decoupling between our economies. And if I was in China's position, I wouldn't talk to the Trump administration at all. They've completely isolated themselves in the world. And we're already seeing China starting to make deals between Japan and South Korea. War with Taiwan is another iron into the fire. I hope the people in the Trump administration need to realize something. I agree that the Europeans have been mooching off the American defense for a very long time. Barack Obama actually agrees with Trump in this department. But now you're going to realize something, that you need allies in this world. And if you're in the United States' position, yes, you are the global superpower and you're the wealthiest, most powerful nation, but you had to have a semblance of the rest of the world to actually agree with you having that position. And one of the ways the United States has tried to ensure this is saying, we'll ensure the global shipping lanes and protect everyone's trade routes. In exchange for that, we got to help write our allies' defense policies. But now that's going away. Putting aside my own opinions on all this, we had to protect the rest of the world when you guys get great pension plans and universal health care. And an American citizen can look at that and say, that's bullshit. Another iron in the fire, the budget. He said he wants to get to a balanced budget. I have my own problems with Doge, but they have uncovered money laundering that's going on through the government. Putting aside the legality and the constitutionality of all this nonsense, and changing the head of the IRS multiple times. So he's got his own fiscal problems back home. So that's another iron in the fire. And now he's trying to negotiate an Iranian nuclear deal that's similar to President Obama's. Could have saved himself a lot of headache if he didn't rip that apart. Not claiming it was a great deal, but it was something to keep them from getting nuclear weapons. And then he has the Israel-Hamas war. And then to his credit, he managed to get a ceasefire in Gaza for 50 days. But eventually that blew up. I think President Trump should have picked one or two things. He inherited some of this situation in his defense, but this wrecking ball approach doesn't really work on every single issue. You're not going to be able to have maximalist demands on every single thing, even if you are the world's superpower. If you want to deport people, focus on that and do it legally. Do it precisely. Work on getting the violent criminals out. And the Trump administration even said, if people leave this country and come back in the right way, we'll allow them to do that. That way you don't open it up to the corporate media that just wants Trump gone before he even took office. When it comes to the Russian-Ukraine war, Donald Trump originally sent javelins to Ukraine. He arguably did more than President Obama. So when I thought he went into negotiations with Russia and Ukraine, he could just go with the Nixon madman theory, being like, hey, I don't really care anymore. I'll press the button. Act crazy, but don't actually press the button, increase economic pressure on Russia. Then hopefully after 1 or 2 or 3 years, they give up. And on the way out, maybe you can actually negotiate genuine peace between Russia and Ukraine, or at least a longer lasting one, while Russia actually has to go back focusing on their economy after it collapses when they end the war. And then we can go to the economic issues. Use targeted tariffs against countries that aren't friendly to the United States, because there's some wisdom in actually decoupling with China on certain industries, because we don't want to be beholden to them if they actually attack Taiwan, rather than just throwing tariffs on everybody. And as far as the Iranian nuclear deal, don't tear up the first one. And if you're going to tear up the first deal, have that be your main focus on your foreign policy. This is the problem with the administration trying to move this fast on everything. Well, you're human beings, people in the Trump administration. You're not going to be able to do everything. President Obama was tied up in his first term just trying to get the Affordable Care Act through, and it cost him the Congress. And me summarizing all of this, how long until something actually breaks?